Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday 6 p.m. Diamonds call. So we've got some beautiful topics to talk about tonight, which I'm really excited because you guys are doing freaking amazing at the summer challenge. It's just insane. And I'm so excited. And I'm sure most of you seen that I had a really good chat with Adam today. And he is so super keen to offer up a one-on-one to whoever can kick ass the best in December. So that's really exciting too. That alone is insane value because he knows his stuff. And there's a very good chance that he's probably going to print your reports out, know your business back to front, so that by the time that you actually jump on with him, he's going to be able to show you where you need to move in this business, where your downfall might be, where your strengths are, where you can multiply and where you can add duplication. So he's one of the best people for that task. So I'm really excited about that. But I really wanted to touch on the fact that you guys are having insane amount of conversations. You know, you're really working hard with that group chat. I love it. And it's really cool because if you're a bit stuck for ideas, you can scroll up through the thread and get to see some really cool stuff that people are doing as well, which is awesome. So by that, I mean starting a conversation inside a group. Yeah, so whether it be a mum's group, whether it be a church group, whether it be a spiritual group, whether it be a horse riding group, I don't really know, but some kind of group that has common ground for you. Now, the important part is that you do that because we are a network marketing team, right? We need to network market, but we can't just have meaningless conversations over and over again or have one conversation and never let it go anywhere. We need to get really good at being a professional upkeeper. Yeah, we need to be able to upkeep the relationship and dig deeper. And that's why I love Jo gets a gold star tonight, because the top two things that she wanted to talk about is where to go from those conversations and how to ask better questions, which are two things that I really do feel are skills that you need as part two to this challenge. Okay, it's really cool to make as many conversations as possible, but unless you can get really good at converting that into curiosity about what we do, then it's very difficult to have a potential team come from those actions. So first of all, I know we touched on it a little bit yesterday during the day, but I want you all to write down CLAM, C-L-A-M. Okay, now this means comment, like or love if you're trans, add, and message. Now this is the coolest method because it's something that you can use at so many different stages of the relationship building. Obviously, the ad starts to get dropped out if they're already your friends, but the comment, love, message is so important, so important. And I went to GoPro last year, and one of the best things, you know, sometimes how you go to an event and there's only one thing that you remember, but it was like one super powerful thing. Obviously, you're meant to know that at that time. The one thing that I really took away from there was find an excuse to talk to people. That's what we do. We're professionals at finding excuses to talk to people. Once you understand how to build that skill and lean on it, you can create some epic shit. So I really like that because the acronym of CLAM basically teaches you to do that. Go through their Facebook profile, find something to comment on, find something to love on, and then send them a message. It's really quite simple. Now, obviously, the first time that you're inside a group, you want to use the A and you want to add them as a friend. So if you're doing some kind of chat, maybe about a recipe, and they've come back and they've said, oh my God, I've got heaps of gluten-free recipes. You know, my son's a celiac. And you come back, oh my God, I'd love to connect. I want to know more. You know, I'm finding it difficult. Whatever it is that the conversation is naturally progressing, do not overthink this, okay? You've commented, you've loved what they've done. Go and add them and send them a message. It's that simple. It's a numbers game in this, guys. Not everybody is going to respond. Some people are probably just going to be like, no, you're random. I don't want to be a friend. And that's okay. Don't take it personally because you don't know them. Okay? But there are going to be so many who just go, cool, new friend. Yay. And that's exciting. Yeah? So the ad is very important as quickly as you can. But don't let it be a cold market ad. They need to know your name. They need to know where you're from. And then sending them a message after that saying, hey, thank you for accepting me. I really appreciated your whatever it was inside the thread. I love your vibe. It could be as simple as that. Don't do something like, something corny. Like, I look forward to continue to connect, or whatever it is that sounds really network marketing. Just make it sound really cash, really normal, because at this stage, all you're doing is gathering friends, gathering conversations. They're not a potential right now. I think that is probably the most annoying thing that you can do as a human being doing network marketing, is seeing every single person as a potential. Okay, that's not the case. There's so many people out there who you're going to have a conversation with who are not a potential. Does that make sense? What I want you to do is use step 2, which we're going to talk about, to find out whether they are potential material. Yeah? Because remember, we don't want everybody in our business. If we do, we become exhausted and we become burnt out. Those people that say recruit, 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 I think they're idiots. I would rather recruit 10 people who are in my tribe, who I like getting on the phone with, who know what they're doing, than 100 people who are half-ass. And that would reflect in my business as well. Okay? So when you do this, the goal and the task is conversations. The step 2 from that is to find out whether they're potential material. And finding out whether they're potential material is by asking questions. Linda calls it becoming the master asker. And I love it, because I think that is a skill that is necessary in so many walks of life. Being able to talk somebody into revealing what they're afraid of, or revealing what they want, is a skill that can take you so far in life. And the cool part about that is that it's teachable. So you just have to spend some time understanding how to become a coach to get people to talk about either what they're fearing or what they're really desiring. Now, the coolest ways to do that is, like I said, through a good conversation. Now, that's not all going to happen the first day you meet them. And that's why a grid is really important. So, I would have a really cool conversation. So I'm having this conversation with a lady, we've been talking now for about 12 months. And we originally got talking on a mum's page about formula. So something totally off topic. And I made sure to add her because I wanted to see if she was a potential. She's a mum. I would love her to follow. And I would love her to hopefully get some inspiration from the way that I'm living with my kids, whether it be her joining my team or whether it just, her just maybe going and doing something different. I don't know. But, I thought she's my tribe. I'm going to add her. I'm going to message her. And I did just send her a message and say, thank you so much. It was so nice to be able to bounce off another mum. That's it. Cool. And occasionally, we'll message each other. But what I do is I come back through. So I go see her pop up. I comment on her picture, whether it just be like, oh my God, your boy's adorable. I love another picture, because it's got to be 2 separate times that she sees my name in her notification. And if it's worthwhile, or if there's been long enough between gaps, I'll send her a message about something. Now, the cool part about this woman is that we've been in conversation for a long time. So again, network marketing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You want to build it up. I've known for a while she would be a potential teamie. Whether I want her yet or not, it's another thing. But I know that there's the potential there to help her. Yeah, so I've been getting really good at talking to her about what she wants. Now, because we've reached that deep level of conversation, which probably she doesn't even have with her friends, can I just say there's people in there who, if you get really good at talking to, will bounce things off you that they won't even talk to their circle about. And the cool thing about that is that she knows right now that her circle sucks. She's been open about that, because I remember her posting on something. I can't remember the exact conversation, but we were talking about how I started network marketing, and I said I was really concerned about how the people around me would react. Now, the reason why I say that to a lot of people is because I want to know how they're going to respond. Whether they're going to be like, oh my God, yes, my friends are going to think I'm brainwashed, or whether they're going to be like, oh no, most of my friends work online. Okay, so I share my experience to hopefully get them to meet me where they're at. Now, the cool part about that was she came back and she was like, oh my God, my friends are such shitty humans. Straight away, there's her pain point. Yeah, she hates the people that she's surrounded by. They're not supportive. And I was like, oh, that sucks. You know, tell me a little bit more about that. And she did. She was like, you know, I get eaten alive with the way that I parent. Everybody's so bitchy and gossipy. And she was just constantly like pouring her heart out to me, which was really cool. It was a really cool conversation. Now, at that stage, I wasn't like, hey, you should meet my friends online. As tempting as it was, you know, I just shared my journey. You know, I kind of felt a little bit like that. I loved my friends, but I could tell that we were a little bit different. And that's why I was really grateful that I was able to find a tribe that I could connect with. That was my story. Yeah. So I shared that with her. And she said, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I hope that happens to me one day. And I said, yeah, me too. You know, for the meantime, though, come hang out with me. And she did. She constantly kind of kept involved. And that's kind of the beauty of asking the question and relaying, guiding them. Do you get what I mean? You guide them by sharing bits of your story that you feel will let them level up with you. If you be vulnerable, if you be real, people will be vulnerable and people will be real. Yeah? Don't just pour everything out at once though, because then they're going to think you're one of those weird ones. Yeah, little bits at a time, little vulnerable, little jokes, little real, little raw, but also very normal. And then, you know, we got to the point where one day she sent me a message and she just said, basically, I want your life. And I was laughing because I said, babe, come do it with me then. You know, we've got a really good friendship here online. I'd love to be able to see what would happen if I mentor you in your business. And she come back and she said, honestly, I've been thinking about it for about 6 months. Can you send me some information? So I sent her the link. She came back. She's super excited, but she has a very controlling partner who won't let her do it. Okay, that doesn't mean that she's a no. In my case, it means that when she gets rid of the asshole, I'm going to be here waiting. Okay, that is the beauty of this business. So it's really important to remember that it's not a you know, like, just because you're doing all these conversations doesn't mean that you're going to have thousands of teamies lining up next month. You might in 8 months' time if you get really good at nurturing the relationships. But then, you know, I'm looking at some of you guys on here. We had 1 or 2 conversations and you suckers were in. Like, you were all over it. Like, yeah, cool, sign me up. So they're the people that you're going to find as well. So don't, you know, write off the fact that this isn't worth it. It just means that it's like multi-leveled. You're going to have the people that are ready right now and the people that are excited and start to show interest. And then you're going to have the people that will take, you know, maybe a year of following you on Facebook, of their life getting shitter, of the fact that, you know, what they're doing right now isn't covering basis until they're ready for your opportunity. And like I've mentioned many times, if you're very good at connecting, so doing clam, yeah, asking the questions, following a grid so you make sure that they don't slip off. So she is one of my high priorities, right? Because I know she's interested. So she's on my grid to follow up with every fortnight, even if it's just a comment and a like on her page. She sees my name regularly, which means she also sees my feed regularly. Yeah. Cool. So that's it. And then we go down the next level so that we can follow them through their journey. Now, it was really cool because we eventually got to the analogy of frog, which means family, recreation, occupation, and goals. That was a team effort, that one. Stace, you came out with the win. So that's a really cool way to direct conversation. Now, if I can give you any kind of hint around this, the more authentic you can be, the better. People will know if you're following a template. So if your first question is, okay, cool, so tell me, you know, do you have a family? Yeah, cool. So I've got my husband, 2 kids, they're blah, blah, blah. They go to this school, whatever it is that they're talking about. Awesome. And what do you do for fun? Yeah. You sound like a nutcase. If you don't know this person, you can't just run through frog and then be like, yeah, so what do you do for work? And then what are your goals for the future? This is the weirdest one to have to work in, but it is the most powerful one to find out. Yeah, so you have to get really crafty at finding ways to organically ask these in your conversations. So if you guys are thinking about it, honestly, for me, the best way to guide someone towards an answer is to share something that you can relate to your own life. So for me, Right now, it would be, oh my God, first week of holidays. I'm so excited because I've got my daughter back. Although, you know, talk to me in 6 weeks and it might be a totally different story. Do you have kids? Shared a little bit about me, was vulnerable, mum life, asked the question if they do as well. Because she's going to know that that's relatable. Yeah, she's seeing me share, so she's going to share. Then we'd have a probably good conversation backwards and forwards about that. Recreation, you know, I would just get to, what are you doing over the holidays? Have you got any ideas? Because I'm feeling stumped. What do you like to do with the kids? Yeah, what's a fun way that you can start to talk about what they like to do without sounding like a creep? Have a think about that and have a play. Because, like I said, once you master these skills, they will take you so, so far. Not just in this business, but has anybody ever had a one-on-one conversation with Linda? How many people have I got on here? Quite a few of you should have. You will know that she is like the most intense person to talk to, because it's like she looks into your soul. She is listening, she is waiting, she's reading your answers, and if she doesn't get the answer that she wants, she will talk to you she'll ask you the question exactly that needs to be said for you to retrieve that information. And it's really awkward, because if you know that she's on the task to get something out of you, it will happen. But I just know that she's got 10 years experience of working on this skill, of guiding people to share either what they're worried about or share what they want to achieve. Because we're going to get down into number 5, our task number 5 to talk about today, which was by the beautiful Abby. And a pain point is so, so important to know about someone. I would almost, just throw the statistic out there, but I almost think that 9 times out of 10, when someone goes missing, it's because you didn't nail their pain point. You don't know how to keep them in the game if you don't know what their pain is. And let's be real, who talks to a random about their pain? Who even talks to the people who are closest to them? Very few of us. Okay, so unless you get very good at asking these questions and guiding people to tell you more about themselves, then knowing their pain and keeping them in the game can be quite difficult. So that number 2, becoming a master asker and working your way through the frog, is really important. Yeah. Now, what better time to do that than right now, when you guys are having so many conversations with people? Who cares if you look like a Fruit Loop? Okay, just go and practice. It's a numbers game. The more people you practice on, the more results you're going to get, the better you're going to get at this. Yeah, you don't get really good just by rocking up one day and having this brilliant conversation. You have to fuck up so many times first. You have to say all the wrong things to people. You have to have somebody pull out because you said the wrong thing. You have to have somebody think that you're a bit of a twat. It happens. It's so normal. So don't be scared of it. Yeah. And this is the most powerful time, because in the challenge, you're going to get rewarded. So you may as well look like a fool. Cool. Just keep going. Keep working. Remember the dance? We've got that thread in there that you do the dance when you get a no, when you get rejected, when you get disappointed. We haven't seen any dances for a while. So, let's celebrate that. If you do have somebody come back, or that you say the wrong thing with a frog, then let's celebrate it. So that is number 2, become a master asker, is really important. Number 3, I put this in here because it's another time to get really direct with people. Yeah, if you're going through frog, especially if you can find a really niche way to start talking to them about their goals. What do they want for life? And this is a weird one, because if they're not inside network marketing or do you guys remember, like, specifically, this is way off track, but I remember saying to Miranda when we first started, Loz was on my case. She was like, brand new month, super excited. If anybody remembered Loz at the beginning of her game, she was super annoying. And she said to me, like, all right, guys, we had a 3-way chat. What's your goals for the month? And Miranda and I also had a separate chat. So if you guys are in my line and you have a separate chat that I'm not in, I get it, because I used to do the same thing to my upline. And Miranda and I were like, what the fuck is a goal? Like, who has a goal these days? My goal is to not strangle my kids. My goal is to make sure the dinner's on the table. Like, that was it. The fact of somebody coming along and being like, so what's our goals for the month? When I just entered this business was so foreign. So, remember that. If you're getting a new team, they're not used to a goal. They're not used to dreams or hopes or anything like that. So especially when you're dealing with cold market who are you trying to make warm, it's a very weird thing to do. But, I can't even think of a way to do it right now, but there's so many ways you can get out of people from what they want. What are you doing in 2019? If you've got a really good chat going on, that's a cool question to ask. And just be like, I'm writing out my hopes and goals for the years and I'm getting pretty excited. Do you do vision boards? Yeah. I need some tips. Those kind of questions are cool because, then they can come back and they can say, no, I haven't done a vision board before. And I'd be like, cool, well, you're going to know about them and explain it all. And then I'll be like, what would you have on yours? And these are funny because it's really cool what people will tell somebody that they don't really know over tell somebody that they're close to. Yeah, because the people close to them might judge them, whereas they don't really care. So it's quite cool. It's like a superpower. So yeah, if you can get to their goals, then you can really lead into inviting to events. Because goals will either tell you what they want, what they desire, or what they fear. Unfortunately, if they've been in life too long inside a box, when you're talking about what they want, they're going to tell you what they don't want. I don't want to turn up next year for my shitty boss. I don't want to, have to spend another 4 years to get long service leave. Whatever it is that they're thinking about. Hang on, I just got to turn on my computer charger. They'll tell you what they don't want. And that is just as powerful as what they do want. Yeah, because as you get deeper into your connection, as you get them on an event and a 3-way call and all that kind of stuff, you can find out what their real why is. But for now, what they don't want is just as cool as a goal. And, that's when an event like tonight can pop up and you can say, hey girl, I know this is totally random, but I've actually been invited to talk on an event tonight. I'm feeling a little bit nervous about it. And I remember our chat how, you really wanted to get out of work. There's actually a component in there that teaches you how to make online income. Would you like to come and have a look and maybe cheer me along as well? Totally okay if you don't, but just thought I'd ask. Now it's cool, it's casual, it's calm. You're not going to throw yourself off a cliff if they say no. You're just going to play it cool, okay? It's all okay. But you invited to an event. Now, the cool part about that is they could go, yeah, hey, look, I'd love to, but I've actually got to babysit tonight, or throw some really bad excuse at you. And you can say, that's okay. It'll be recorded. I can send you the link. Handy, right? Handy that we record all of our links. And then you can send them that tomorrow. And now they're on your follow-up list. Yeah? So it does start to move organically that way if you can get really good at following through with the questions. So inviting to events is the most integral part if you've given them the tick for potential material. Yeah, I like you, I could work with you, and I want to see you succeed. That's potential material. Yeah. Then you move on to showcasing them an event. Now, this has to be done in divine timing. You can't rush it. You can't look crazy, but sometimes you also do have to be very direct. And that is why it's cool that when an event's coming up, you set yourself a goal that I'm going to go out there and I'm going to talk to 5 people who have shared a little bit with me and see if they'd be interested. Yeah? Cool. Because, we did this yesterday or I think it was this morning. The days are rolling really quick. When we were talking about who got here because of an event, it was basically all of us. All of us were sitting on a fence. All of us were like, I don't know what this is. And you watch an event, you see the stories, you feel the heart, and you want to be involved. So the quicker that you can get somebody who you're building a rapport with, who you know is potential material in front of an event, the better. Yeah. I can tell you though, getting somebody in front of an event prematurely will fuck your business up. Okay. I learned that the hard way. They may sign up, they'll do nothing. They'll be excited, they won't trust you. They'll be excited, but they won't believe in themselves. They'll be excited, but they don't believe that you're actually going to be there to hold their hand. Yeah, so it's better to do the hard work first. It's better to build the relationship. It's better to work on their why, to go through the frog, to go through all of it until you have that solid foundation where they will trust you. They know you. They know that you're going to be successful, certainly. Yeah, nobody's going to join someone who's half-assed. Okay? If you're going to get on a plane with somebody and they said, you know what? I'm just starting out at this pilot thing. I'm not too sure about it. I've still got my job in the office just in case it doesn't work. But do you want to jump on the plane with me and see if we can make it? How many of you guys would jump in that plane? Not me. Not me. I was really lucky that Lauren was like the certainty captain pilot. She had the certainty captain pilot hat on right from the start. And it made me so safe. Because I was like, well, you know what? If you can do it, so can I. If you can do it, you can show me how to do it. So know that if you're trying to invite people on a plane ride, you need to be 100% certain that you can get them there. And that's why it's really important for those of you who were on my training last night to make sure that your self-belief matches your goals. Because your potentials will read your self-belief, not care about your goals. Yeah? That's the energy that they pick up on, is what you're carrying around with you. And if you're carrying around low self-confidence, people around you are going to pick up on that and they'll start to doubt the product and start to doubt the business. And that's when it gets really crazy. And that's the perfect segue into the next thing I want to talk about, which is price objections. Thanks, Jose. So price objections are going to come if you believe they'll come. Yeah? If you're worried about the price, they will come. So when I first started this business, you guys know that I was pretty broke. Money was not flowing and I was creating a lot of abundance blocks. And because of that, the thought of spending an extra $110, which it was at the time, on a premium product, which I didn't even want to take really, every month was really daunting. And that's why when Lauren first introduced this business to me, I was like, hell no, I'm not going to pay money for that. I'll just go and eat fruits and veggies. Yeah. So I want you to remember that that was my mindset. I had it, but what Lauren had to do was work on me to encourage me to see what this product really was, how beautiful it was, how fruit and veggies weren't going to compare, how I was suffering and I needed to take a risk to change it. That was her job. And she got really good at handling those objections and by asking the right questions. So when I was like, you know what, I don't really think I can afford it. Her favorite line, and this saved me, and it's from Linda, was, if we could make it affordable, would you give it a go? Now, straight away from there, you're going to get the real answer. Because they're either going to say, you know what, yeah, probably, but I don't think my partner will go for it. So it's not really about the money. It's more about your partner. Or, yeah, I don't really think that I'd be able to do it. Yeah. They're not going to prioritize their health. If they're like, yeah, absolutely, I just literally don't see how you're going to fit it in, you know, then cool. They do want to have a look at it. I just need to work harder to work out how I can make it affordable for them. Now, when we're talking about, well, how do you make it affordable for someone? You drop down to the fruit and veg. You drop down to the berries. Even though I hate the berries, tell Desi. I'm just like, what, you got another fucking order for berries? They're such a waste of time. But anyway, she loves them. But drop selling is a good way to do it, because hopefully if they really enjoy the program and you love on them, you can upsell at a later date. Also, what Linda teaches, yeah, I knew you'd say that. What Linda teaches is, okay, cool. Well, the products are going to cost you $30 a week. Can you think of something now that you're spending $30 on a week that doesn't serve your health goals? And if we be realistic, pretty much every single person, no matter how broke you are, can find something that you're at least spending $10 to $20 a week on that you shouldn't be. Whether it be coffee, whether it be cigarettes, whether it be alcohol, whether it be junk food, whether it be chips, whatever it is. And, you know, then you say to them, well, do you think it'd be okay if just for this first order we tried to replace that and put Juice Plus in? That way you can get on the product, you can start to feel better. You've got 4 months to try and hit your goals. And then if it doesn't make a difference, you can go back to the cigarettes and back to the way life was beforehand. Then see, they haven't lost anything. They're not paying money. They're just paying what they were previously, but they're gaining access to a better level of health. Yeah, now if you get really good at talking to people around that and having the open kind of idea, feel, felt, found will save your ass every single day. If someone tells you that they can't afford it, you go back to the moment where you thought you couldn't afford it too. Yeah, I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way when I first started, but what I found is that I was spending money on things that weren't getting me where I needed and actually making me feel more shitty than good. So I just replaced that each week and I could afford it. You know, now that I've been on them 6 months, I'd never go back. Whatever it is, share a little bit around your story. And now the cool part about price objections is, again, if you can get very good at becoming a master asker, you can work out what their pain point is around why they want the product, because that's what's so important. They're probably going to tell you, oh, look, I just need the energy. It could really be that, God, I don't know, you know, their sex drive is dying. Who knows what it is? But the cool part about it is that if you can ask better questions and let them know, show some vulnerability, add some humor, be light, don't be professional all the time, especially if you're building them into your warm market, okay? They're going to break it down easier for you. They're going to give you those answers if you can get really good at just gently working your way through the digging hole. Yeah? Because, I mean, you would work, there'd be things that you would do differently if you really knew why most people were on the product. It could be because they have terrible period pain and they don't feel like telling you that. It could be because they're infertile and they really desperately want to try their chances at conceiving naturally. I don't know what it could be, but there's a lot of reasons why. Oh, actually, here's a really cool one. So one of my teamies, she's not in the business anymore, but she had really bad plantar warts on the bottom of her feet. She wouldn't tell me that was the reason why she started, because she was so embarrassed of them. But it wasn't until she was on her second shipment when they cleared up that she actually opened up to me about why that was. Now, I was very lucky because she was very self-driven to make this work. So she stayed around for those 2 months in order to heal her body. But if she was just a customer, and because see, obviously plantar warts, they take a long time. That's total cellular change, right? So if I had have known that, I could have talked to her through, okay, well, it might not happen in the first shipment. You might expect something like this in the second, third, maybe even fourth month. And I would go to town in the testimonials page and find stuff that would support the fact that this could eventually happen for her. So that's why I think so many times when we're hitting up with an objection, we take it as a no. And I just want to tell you, like, that is the worst thing you can do. An objection is not a no. An objection is, I'm a little fucking scared right now and I need you to help me through this. You're more of a no if they're ignoring you. Yeah? If they're not getting back to you right now, still follow them up, you know, show them, love them, comment, like, whatever. But if they're objecting, there's a little bit inside them that wants this. Yeah, they just don't really feel the certainty in order to jump over. And that's where you coming in and saying, you know what, if we made it affordable, would it work? Or, you know, whatever it is that we can work around it. And now, honestly, this is where I think you guys don't utilize your uplines enough, especially if they've been in the business a few years. We all have our group chats now. So the best way, you guys are all pretty much in our Team Love Workers chat. If you have something like this come up and you feel like, I want this customer, but I don't know if what I'm doing is working, or I don't know if I've dug deep enough, screenshot it and put it in there and let me or another upline who's been in the game for a little bit longer help, because this is how I learned how to do what I do, through watching Linda, through watching Adam, and through watching Lauren. It's not my skills. I literally have just recycled them. So when you come into this, don't expect to have all the skills there straight away. You need to be teachable and you need to get somebody who's done it for a little bit longer to guide you through all that. I would even say, if you're not where you want to be right now, go back to your upline. Start using the screenshot method to your upline, because there's a very good chance that you're either just stopping at objections and you're not working your way through them, and that's something that I can easily pick out. Or it could just be that, you know, you might be sounding too abrupt. And that's, again, one of the hardest things in a message. This is why I love emojis. I'm very strategic with my emojis, because they can be young and dumb and silly, but they also do allow for some emotion to get through a message. It's very hard. And this is probably, you know, I swear I'm not being judgmental, but if you're in the older category where emojis weren't your thing, you kind of need to make them your thing. Because so many times I see people just message and it can sound so harsh and it can sound so abrupt. And the harder thing is that people, you don't know how they're going to receive it. So if you put a love heart or a smiley face or something on the end of it, then you've done a win, okay? Because they know that you're not angry. They know that you're not being hard. They know that you actually want to help them. On that topic too, if you guys are on here, I want you to go through, we do, yeah, sarcasm brackets, like just these brackets that come up that dictate that this is going to be a sarcastic remark. Yeah, if you're on here right now, something to think about while you're using social media as we talk about that. Your social media is your business card. Your profile picture is your business card. If you have a quote, a picture of your kids, a picture of your dog, a picture of the moon setting, I can tell you right now that it is doing your business no favors. Your personal Facebook, not your business page, your personal Facebook is your ground where people are going to trust you, know you, and decide whether they like you. If they can't see your face and read your energy the first time that they see your name in a comment, I can guarantee you're losing at least half of your engagements. Yeah. Now, I know this because it used to stop me when people would reply to my ads. If they didn't have a Facebook profile picture that I could see straight away which one was them, I wouldn't connect to their energy. I wouldn't engage in the response to the ad because I wouldn't know if they were my tribe or not. I wouldn't subconsciously connect with them. So you need to do yourself the biggest favors and have the most happiest, vibrant photo where you feel yourself the most in your profile pic. Yeah, especially if you want to run this like a business. And again, like I said, you can have a business page, you can have a second profile, you can do all that stuff, but I can guarantee that you're not going to get the traffic and the engagement that you would out of just having it all on your personal page. Yeah, I've worked that one out so hard. Yeah, most of the time I will gather my people from my business page and they will sign up once they follow my personal page. So if you're at the stage right now where you think you need a business page, it's a cool platform. A second Facebook is a really cool platform. A group is a really cool platform. But still, a lot of the time, they're going to need to know you're human. They're going to need to know that they know, like, and trust you before they want to join or jump in your aeroplane, right? Before they decide that you're certain enough to get them where they need to go. So have a think about that, guys. That's something else to think about. And how are we going for time? We have 10 more minutes to talk about Abby's one, which is getting people on a three-way. Now, this pretty much wraps up everything that we just talked about. If you're having trouble actually getting people on the call, there's a few things that could be going wrong here. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's just the person might be flaky. Yeah, so it's not always something that can be fixed, but there are a few things that we can do to ensure that we're upping our chances. Now, connecting better and harder and stronger and deeper from the start is really important. And that's why going through those questions, perhaps even doing frog, if you can work your way through it, is really important. The more you know about a person, the less likely it is that they can flake. Yeah, the more engaged they are with you, the more they trust you, the more they know and like you, the less likely it is that they're just not going to turn up. If you have an instant, hey, cool, you responded to my ad, awesome, I'm going to watch the event, and you're going to say, yes, cool, then I'm going to jump into a three-way call. It doesn't work. And do you know what's really disappointing? If you've been in the business for a while, like me, so for over 2 years, if you've been in the business for over 2 years, it used to work. Yeah. And this is what is the frustrating part. people used to just get so excited by our opportunity and that they would jump on. That was the knowledge, well, I'm going to say generation of social media, not generation as in generation, but that generation of social media. Back then, people wanted the knowledge. So what they wanted was to get on the call and know more. They wanted to be filled with all the questions and answers, all that kind of stuff. And they knew they could get that if they were on a call with you straight away. So working quickly through that system worked. They got on a lot of calls. Unfortunately now, people don't want that. People are results and connection based. So they want to know straight away after an event, what kind of results can they get, which is why I never discredit throwing figures out. Yeah, telling them exactly how much they can make, exactly how much you made, exactly what's on the table in the first 3 to 5 months, whatever it is, you know, get those figures out because they're the results that they need to be converted to get on a call, and they need connection. They need to know that you're going to look after them. Otherwise, I'm going to go find one of the other million people who are advertising for a position. Yeah. So if you get really good at understanding those two things, I really do think that it ups your chances of getting on a three-way. That being said, there's still people who I will set up a call with who flake. Yeah, it's disappointing, but there's ways that you can definitely help increase your numbers. So I think one of the other really important things on that is when you're doing a three-way message, have the right emphasis on the right person. So we talk about the Simon Chan method of idolizing the upline. Don't idolize the potential. So many of us are so excited and so proud to be putting a potential in front of our upline that we're like, hey guys, this is Jenny. She works at Coles, absolutely hates her job, but she's got 2 kids, so she really wants to get out. She's awesome. I love her vibe. We've connected on the mums page. You know, Jenny, this is Kat. She's my business mentor. When can we set up a call? Yeah, can you guys see how that's back to front? That person is going to feel immense pressure, immense need. She thinks I'm needy because all I've done is talk about how wonderful she is. You know, she's going to feel the pressure, and there's a very good chance that she's not going to jump on, because we talk about the elusive club, right? Everybody wants to be part of something that they can't be in. So if you make them feel too needed, they won't get on. They won't turn up to the party. If you make them feel like what they're coming into is so amazing that they're privileged to be given this chance, then they'll show up. Yeah, that's why I realistically say to my people who I get in through the Soul Project, I'm going to do a phone call interview with you. Are you free tomorrow? So they feel like they're being interviewed. They feel like they've got something and they need to prove their worth. Now, straight away, they're going to come in with a better posture than somebody who feels like they need to come in to give me a promotion. Yeah. So I was going somewhere else with that and now I've lost it. Let me think. No, it's gone. It's missing. Yeah, so important. Oh, no, I remember I was idolizing the upline. I'll give you the flip side of it, right? So the flip side is, hey, lovelies, you know, Jenny, I want you to meet Katrina. Katrina's been in the business for almost 3 years now, so she knows her stuff. She's the best person to help mentor you through this with the help of myself. She's also got 2 children. She's building a kick-ass business. You know, just whatever else you think conflicts with the pain point. So whether it be traveling, whether it be motherhood, no time, whatever it is, utilize the story of your upline that suits that applicant. And then say, you know, Kat, this is Jenny. She's a mum that I've met on a group. We've connected and she'd love to know more about the business. When can we jump on a call? So in that instance, I've completely flipped it around. The potential is no longer the person who's being idolized. In fact, you have just subconsciously planted the seed that this Jenny lady is so lucky to be put in front of this person who's so highly wanted in our industry. Okay, because then they're going to think, oh shit, okay, stepping up to this. And they're probably going to be in a lot better posture than somebody who feels like, you know, they're being dragged into something. So it's really cool. Just the flick of the words, flick of all that kind of stuff really can change someone's energy to how they show up to the call or whether they show up at all. All that kind of stuff, again, comes down to numbers, to practice, to cutting out the middleman by going to your upline and saying, hey, what's worked for you? Can you read this message? They didn't show up. Do you think I might have said something incorrect? Do you think I could perform better next time in in my three-way message? Can I have, whatever. Get that kind of feedback. And it doesn't necessarily have to be from your direct upline. If you and your direct upline have been in the business for as long as each other, then go higher or put it in Team Love page or whatever it is and get feedback from a plethora of leaders, because that really is the team mentality that we have. Yeah. Cool. So I feel like I've covered all 5 in 57 minutes, which we did really well. We got under our mark. Does anybody have any questions around any of that? Does that help for those ladies who were, asking the questions? We're all good? Okay, Ken, if you can help for tonight's event, can you just come off mute and let me know? So Joe, I've got you down for product story. I've got Ashy for, recording. I'm going to stop right now.